What if there was a planet so hostile that stepping foot on it would kill you instantly? Imagine a world where the air is toxic, the ground burns at thousands of degrees, and the winds move faster than a bullet. The universe is filled with strange and terrifying places, but some exoplanets push the boundaries of what we thought was possible. Scientists have spent decades searching for planets beyond our solar system, hoping to find another Earth. But in the process, they've discovered something else. Worlds so extreme that even science fiction struggles to compete. Finding these distant and dangerous planets isn't easy. Astronomers use powerful telescopes and cutting-edge technology to scan the vastness of space, looking for tiny dips in a star's brightness. These dips happen when a planet passes in front of its star, blocking a fraction of the light, a method known as the transit technique. Other times, they measure the gravitational wobble of a star caused by an orbiting planet. With each new discovery, scientists uncover places unlike anything in our own solar system. Some are frozen wastelands, others are covered in endless storms, and then there are the ones that seem designed to destroy anything that dares to come near. Exoplanets come in many forms, each with its own terrifying potential. Hot Jupiters are massive gas giants that orbit their stars at blistering speeds, with temperatures so high that even metal turns to vapor. Super-Earths are rocky planets larger than our own, but some are crushed under extreme gravity or buried beneath oceans of lava. Ultra-dense Neptunes are ice giants packed so tightly that their atmospheres collapse into something truly alien. With every new planet discovered, the question becomes more chilling. Could a planet exist where survival isn't just impossible, but unimaginable? Let's dive deeper into the most lethal exoplanets ever found. Among the thousands of exoplanets discovered, one stands out as the most terrifying of them all. A planet so extreme, so utterly inhospitable, that it makes even the most violent worlds look tame in comparison. Meet K2-141b, a world that defies logic and survival itself. This exoplanet orbits a distant star over 200 light-years away, but what makes it truly horrifying isn't just its distance, it's what happens on its surface. Scientists first discovered it using the Kepler Space Telescope, watching for tiny dips in light as the planet passed in front of its star. What they found was beyond anything they expected. K2-141b is a lava planet, but calling it that doesn't even begin to describe its horrors. It's a super-Earth, slightly larger than our own planet, yet far deadlier. Locked in a gravitational grip with its star, one side of this world is in perpetual daylight, while the other is trapped in eternal night. The day side burns at a staggering 3,000 degrees Celsius, 5,400 degrees, hot enough to vaporize rock itself. But here's where things take a disturbing turn. The extreme heat has created a bizarre weather system where molten rock evaporates, rises into the atmosphere, and then rains down as liquid lava. Imagine a storm where instead of water, fiery rock droplets fall from the sky, scorching everything in their path. But that's not all. On the dark side of K2-141b, temperatures plummet to 200 degrees Celsius, 328 degrees Fahrenheit, colder than anything on Earth. This wild contrast between extreme heat and deep freeze creates winds that roar across the planet at speeds of over 5,000 kilometers per hour, 3,100 miles, faster than the speed of sound. Scientists were shocked by how violently different this planet is from anything we've ever known. If hell had a physical form, K2-141b might be the closest thing to it. Could this be a real-life version of a science fiction nightmare? A world where rock turns to air, air turns to fire, and fire turns back to stone in an endless, nightmarish cycle? This is just one of many terrifying exoplanets lurking in the cosmos. But if you think this is bad, just wait until you hear what's next. Imagine standing on a planet where the very air could kill you in an instant. A place where storms are made of fire, the sky rains molten metal, and winds move so fast they could tear a spacecraft apart. Some exoplanets take atmospheric chaos to an entirely new level, creating conditions so extreme they seem impossible. But they're very real, and they are some of the most terrifying places in the universe. Take HD 189733b, for example. At first glance, it might look like a peaceful blue planet, similar to Earth. But that beautiful color isn't from oceans. It's from silicate particles in the atmosphere. This world is home to glass rain. Yes, actual shards of glass falling from the sky. And if that wasn't horrifying enough, these glass shards are being hurled sideways at 5,400 miles per hour, 8,700 kilometers per hour, faster than a commercial jet. Imagine a storm where razor-sharp glass is moving so fast it could slice through metal. There's no shelter, no escape, just an endless high-speed barrage of lethal shards. And then there's Corot 7b, a planet where temperatures on the dayside can reach 2,300 degrees Celsius, 4,200 degrees, hot enough to vaporize rock and create entire oceans of lava. The extreme heat evaporates rock into the atmosphere, where it cools and condenses into terrifying weather patterns. Instead of water cycles like on Earth, this planet has a rock cycle, with stone clouds and magma rain. Imagine walking through a storm where the raindrops aren't water, but burning hot pebbles of molten rock splashing down into a sea of fire. Some exoplanets take things even further, with atmospheres so toxic and violent that survival isn't just impossible, it's unthinkable. The ultra-hot gas giant WASP-76b has such extreme heat that iron literally evaporates into the air. On the planet's dark side, it cools down just enough to condense, causing iron rain to pour from the sky. That's right, it's a planet where the weather forecast includes metal rainstorms. And then there are worlds like Kepler 10b, bathed in constant radiation so intense that even robotic probes would struggle to survive. Could any technology withstand conditions like these? Could we ever send a probe to a planet where the air is fire, the rain is metal, and the wind is fast enough to shred steel? The terrifying truth is, we're only scratching the surface of what's out there. And the more we explore, the more we realize we have only begun to uncover the true horrors of the universe. Imagine standing in a storm where the raindrops aren't water, but molten rock. On some exoplanets, this is reality. These terrifying worlds have such extreme heat that minerals vaporize, rise into the atmosphere, and fall back down as a deadly, fiery rain. This isn't just science fiction. Scientists have found real planets where storms of liquid rock pour from the sky, turning the surface into a nightmarish landscape of endless destruction. One such world is Corot 7b, a super-Earth located 489 light-years away. It's about 70% larger than Earth, but that's where the similarities end. This planet orbits its star so closely that a year, a full orbit, lasts just 20 hours. That means the planet is locked in a permanent battle between fire and stone. The day side is blasted with so much heat that rock itself turns into vapor, creating thick clouds of molten minerals. As these vaporized rocks drift to the cooler night side, they condense and fall as raining stone. Not pebbles, but full-blown rock storms crashing down onto a volcanic wasteland. Then there's WASP-76b, an exoplanet so extreme that iron itself boils into a gas. The planet's star-facing side reaches an infernal 2,400 degrees Celsius, or 352, hot enough to turn metal into vapor. As this iron-rich air moves to the dark side, it cools down, just enough for the vapor to condense into iron droplets, which then fall from the sky in showers of molten metal. Imagine standing in a storm where burning hot liquid iron rains down like deadly bullets, creating rivers of molten metal flowing across the surface. And let's not forget the crushing gravity of these planets. Many super-Earths have gravities that are twice, 3 times, or even 5 times stronger than Earth's. That means if you somehow survived the hellish storms, the gravity alone would flatten you instantly, crushing bones and organs like paper. Every step would feel like dragging a 100-pound weight, and jumping would be impossible. Simply put, life as we know it couldn't survive even a second on these planets. The question is, what else is out there? If we've already discovered planets where the sky rains fire and the ground melts beneath your feet, what other unimaginable horrors are waiting to be found? The more we explore, the more we realize the universe isn't just strange, it's terrifying. Some planets don't just kill you with heat, crushing gravity, or razor-sharp storms. Some worlds are so drenched in radiation that simply existing near them would mean instant death. These are the planets that orbit too close to their stars, with no magnetic field to shield them from the deadly onslaught of cosmic radiation. On Earth, we're protected by our magnetic field, which deflects harmful solar wind and cosmic rays. But what if that protection was stripped away? What if a planet was left completely exposed to the full force of a star's fury? One of the most extreme examples is Kelt 9b, an exoplanet so close to its star that it's literally being slowly vaporized. This gas giant orbits a blue supergiant, a star that burns far hotter and brighter than our Sun. The temperature on Kelt 9b reaches a staggering 4,300 degrees Celsius, 7,800 degrees Celsius, hotter than some stars. But it's not just the heat that makes this planet deadly. It's the relentless radiation. The intense ultraviolet and X-ray radiation from its star bombards the planet thousands of times stronger than Earth's worst nuclear explosions. This radiation is so powerful that it's stripping away Kelt 9b's atmosphere, tearing it apart molecule by molecule, and flinging it into space. The planet is quite literally melting away, dissolving into the void like a comet, with no hope of escape. Then, there are planets like Kepler 432b, a doomed world orbiting a dying red giant star. This planet is being slowly cooked by extreme stellar radiation, its surface bombarded by powerful flares and charged particles. Any atmosphere it once had is long gone, leaving behind a bare, scorched wasteland where nothing could ever survive. The radiation here is so intense that if a spacecraft approached, it could fry its electronics before even reaching the surface. And the scariest part? We've only just started discovering these deadly worlds. Some planets could be soaked in radiation levels beyond anything we've ever measured. Others might be bombarded by cosmic rays so powerful they could shred DNA instantly, making even robotic exploration impossible. Could a planet like this vaporize a spaceship before it even lands? With radiation this extreme, the terrifying answer might be yes. The universe is not just hostile, it's an unforgiving cosmic death trap. And yet, the deeper we look, the more we realize we've only seen the beginning. Imagine landing on a planet where the moment you step out of your spacecraft, your body collapses under its own weight. Your bones snap, your organs flatten, and within seconds, you're crushed into the ground. This isn't science fiction. There are exoplanets out there with gravity so intense that no human, no machine, and possibly no life could ever survive. Some of the most extreme exoplanets ever found are super-Earths, rocky worlds far larger than our own. Take Kepler 442b, a planet about twice Earth's size. It might look familiar, perhaps even Earth-like, but its gravity is nearly twice as strong. That means walking on this planet would feel like carrying your entire body weight on your back, as a crushing force pulls you downward. But that's nothing compared to the real monsters, the ultra-dense worlds where gravity reaches horrifying extremes. One such nightmare world could be TOI 849b, a possible exposed planetary core with a mass similar to Neptune but packed into a much smaller size. Scientists believe this planet may have once been a gas giant, but over time its thick atmosphere was stripped away, leaving behind a super-dense, rocky core with gravity several times stronger than Earth's. If you somehow managed to land on its surface, you wouldn't just struggle to stand, you'd be flattened instantly. Your rib cage would collapse, your blood flow would fail, and your entire body would be crushed under forces no human has ever experienced. And what about even bigger super-Earths? Some theorists speculate that on planets with 10 times Earth's heat, mass, gravity, would make it impossible for complex life to evolve as it has here. Creatures wouldn't be able to grow large, and any movement would require immense muscular strength just to lift a limb. Even if life did manage to exist, it would be radically different from anything we know. Perhaps short, squat, and built like living tanks to withstand the relentless pull of gravity. Could any life, no matter how extreme, adapt to such brutal forces? Or are these worlds truly barren, crushing anything that dares to land? The more we discover, the more we realize that the universe isn't just vast. It's filled with places so extreme, they break the very limits of physics and biology. But if you think gravity is the worst of it, just wait. Because there are even more terrifying exoplanets lurking in the darkness of space. Drifting silently through the void, there are planets that belong to no star, no solar system, just eternal darkness. These are the rogue planets, the lost worlds of the universe. Unlike Earth, which orbits the sun and gets its warmth from starlight, rogue planets wander aimlessly through space, frozen and lifeless. Or so we think. Without a sun to provide heat, these planets experience temperatures that plummet to hundreds of degrees below zero, turning their surfaces into icy wastelands colder than anything found in our solar system. The air, if there is any, would be frozen solid. The surface would be barren and black, with no sunrise, no sunset, just an endless, featureless night. Any human stepping foot on one of these planets would freeze instantly, their breath turning to ice before they could even take a step. And yet, some scientists believe that these terrifying worlds might not be completely dead. Deep beneath the IDE, frozen crust of some rogue planets, there could be hidden oceans locked away under miles of ice. If the planet has an active core, geothermal heat could keep an underground ocean liquid, much like Jupiter's moon Europa. And if there's liquid water, could there also be life? Not the kind of life we know, not plants, animals, or anything familiar, but strange, alien creatures, adapted to total darkness, thriving in a world without sunlight. Rogue planets could number in the trillions, scattered across the galaxy, drifting through space unseen. Some may have been violently ejected from their home systems, flung into the void after gravitational battles with larger planets or passing stars. Others may have formed alone, never knowing the warmth of a star to begin with. These are worlds, of pure emptiness, isolation, and extreme survival. But could some of them harbor secrets we never expected? Are these planets cosmic death traps, where anything that lands is doomed to freeze forever? Or could some of them be hidden sanctuaries, carrying alien life through the galaxy in their icy, lightless depths? The terrifying truth is, we don't know. But one thing is certain. The universe is filled with strange and dangerous worlds, and we've only just begun to uncover their mysteries. Imagine a planet trapped on the edge of the ultimate cosmic abyss, a world orbiting dangerously, close to a supermassive black hole. In the deepest corners of space, there may exist planets that defy all logic, circling these monstrous voids like cosmic daredevils. But could such a planet really survive? Or would it be doomed to destruction, ripped apart by unimaginable forces? Black hole is the most extreme object in the universe, a region of space so dense that nothing, not even light, can escape its pull. Any planet orbiting one would experience physics so bizarre it would break our understanding of reality. One of the strangest effects? Time itself would slow down. Thanks to Einstein's theory of relativity, a planet on the edge of a black hole's gravity well would experience severe time dilation, meaning time for anyone on the surface would move much slower than for someone far away. In theory, a year on this planet could pass in what feels like centuries to the rest of the universe. If an astronaut visited and somehow survived, they could return to find that entire civilizations had risen and fallen while they only experienced a few days. But that's only the beginning of the nightmare. The gravitational pull of a black hole is so extreme that it creates tidal forces powerful enough to stretch and tear apart entire planets. If a world orbits too close, it risks being pulled into a process known as spaghettification, where the intense gravity literally stretches objects into thin strands before devouring them completely. The forces acting on such a planet would be so strong that its surface could be constantly shifting, breaking, and reforming as the black hole's gravity deforms it in real time. Could a planet like this really exist? Some scientists believe that rogue planets, drifting through space, could eventually be captured by the gravitational pull of a black hole, forming eerie, dark solar systems orbiting an invisible void. These planets wouldn't receive any light from a sun, only the dim, terrifying glow of the accretion disk, the swirling ring of superheated gas spiraling into the black hole. Imagine standing on a planet where the sky is filled with a burning halo of twisting, distorted light, while the edge of reality itself looms just beyond the horizon. Would a planet like this be able to survive indefinitely? Or would it eventually cross the event horizon, swallowed whole by the inescapable darkness? The very idea seems like something out of science fiction, but in a universe as strange as ours, the line between reality and the impossible is often razor-thin. Somewhere, out there, a planet may already be circling the brink of oblivion. The question is, how long can it last? Could anything survive on these nightmarish worlds? A planet where rock rains from the sky, winds move faster than bullets, and gravity crushes everything in an instant seems like the last place you'd expect to find life. But the universe has a way of surprising us. Here on Earth, life has proven to be incredibly resilient, thriving in deep-sea volcanic vents, frozen Antarctic lakes, and even inside nuclear reactors. If life can exist in such extreme places here, could something, no matter how alien, find a way to survive on even the most terrifying exoplanets? Scientists call these survival specialists extremophiles, and some of them push the boundaries of what we thought was possible. There are microbes on Earth that can withstand extreme radiation, endure pressures thousands of times greater than sea level, and survive in boiling acid. Certain bacteria have even been exposed to the vacuum of space and lived. So, if microbes can handle Earth's worst conditions, could an alien version adapt to the extreme environments of deadly exoplanets? Imagine a planet like WASP-76b, where iron literally rains from the sky. Could there be life forms that absorb metal instead of oxygen, using the iron storms as a resource instead of a death sentence? What about a world like Kepler-10b, where the surface is a boiling sea of molten rock? Could there be plasma-based organisms floating through the superheated air, thriving in temperatures that would incinerate anything from Earth? And what about rogue planets drifting through space in total darkness? Life on Earth depends on sunlight, but some deep-sea organisms rely on nothing but geothermal heat from the ocean floor. If a rogue planet had an underground ocean heated by its core, could alien extremophiles lurk beneath the ice, feeding off chemical reactions instead of sunlight? The idea may sound impossible, but so did life in Earth's most hostile environments, until we actually found it. If life finds a way here, could it do the same on the most terrifying planet in the universe? And if alien life can survive there, what else might be waiting for us in the dark corners of space? The discovery of these deadly exoplanets is more than just a curiosity. It's a challenge to everything we thought we knew about planetary science. For centuries, we imagined other worlds as variations of Earth, perhaps warmer, colder, or with different atmospheres. But the truth is far more extreme. Some planets rain molten rock, others are crushed by unbearable gravity, and some drift through the void, frozen in eternal darkness. These places aren't just uninhabitable, they are actively hostile, designed to destroy anything that dares to touch them. And yet, they exist. The universe isn't just stranger than we imagined, it's far more terrifying. But could we ever explore these hellish worlds up close? The risks are enormous. A probe sent to a world like K2-141b could be melted before it even touches the ground. A spacecraft attempting to land on a super-Earth might be ripped apart by crushing gravity. And orbiting too close to a black hole planet? That could warp time so severely that the mission team might never return home. Despite these dangers, these planets hold secrets worth uncovering. The study of their extreme conditions could teach us how planets form, how they evolve, and even what makes Earth so special. Then there's the ultimate question. Could we ever terraform one of these nightmare planets? Right now, the answer seems impossible. Turning a lava world into an Earth-like paradise? Redirecting the deadly winds of a planet with shredding storms? Creating an atmosphere on a lifeless, frozen rogue planet? The technology to do this is far beyond our reach. But science has a way of turning the impossible into reality. If we can one day terraform Mars, could we reshape an exoplanet into a second home for humanity? And if these planets exist, what else is out there? How many more nightmare worlds are waiting to be discovered? The universe is vast, and we've only just begun to uncover its deepest, darkest secrets. But one thing is certain. Space isn't just a place of wonder. It's a place of unimaginable horrors. And the more we explore, the more we realize we have only scratched the surface.